A song for John from them. Now we play one about me. Lonesome loser.
Isn't this better than Weird Al?
Yes.
Man, the artist of the day was almost Weird Al, but we stepped in.
If it was Weird Al, I would have canceled on you guys.
All right.
See, you did the right thing, Paulie. Once in a while, you do the right thing. John Wildhack joining us here in studio for the rest of the show. We got about 15 minutes or so left with John. We were talking NIL before the break. Mm-hmm. I know that there are a lot of things that go into a successful athletic department these days. Is NIL at the top of the list in terms of, do you need that in order to be successful?
Yes. Because you're not going to retain your best.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to retain your best, so it has to be. And university's been great. We rev share to the max. We were 20.5, we'll be 21.3. That's the max. Is what you do above that is absolutely essential. We're successful at raising that money, and it's primarily through businesses, local, regional, some national. But we need that local and regional business support, because how you supplement the rev share is critical to retaining your best and recruiting. And until, I don't, the crews can't Bill, and I give them a lot of credit for getting to a compromise bill. And they both said there's things that they're in it they don't like. And Eric Schmidt from Missouri contributed, and Chris Coombs as well. And until we have some clarity, in my opinion, it's a classic case of a market overcorrection. 10 years ago, if you gave a kid a bagel with cream cheese, it was a violation. We got to put it on 5 years because kids getting $50 at the Y or something.
Yeah.
Now players should get paid. No problem with that. Any athlete should get any college student has a talent, they should be able to monetize that talent. Scholarship, right? Come back, finish, get your degree, healthcare, health insurance, et cetera, that type of thing. Absolutely. But what we have now is we're in a period of free agency on a per semester basis. And it's not sustainable. And there's no transparency in terms of spending. Mm-hmm. And think about it. Professional sports, everybody knows we only know what we're paying our athletes. We don't know without transparency. And I think there's a way that if you could get this to where there's a bill where there's one free transfer, absolutely. If your coach leaves, get to transfer again. The 5 for 5, I like that. Mm-hmm. If you're done at 4, you graduate, you can go someplace else for your 5th, fine with that, because you graduated, you've got your degree. I think there's things that can be done that if we created more competitive equity, because I actually think competitive equity would build the fan base for college football and college basketball and college sports. The biggest brands are always going to have an advantage. The Dodgers are always going to have an advantage over the Padres, bigger brand. The Yankees, the Cowboys. So, long-winded answer to your question, but it leads into so many other things that are being discussed. And I've talked to Randy Levine a couple times. I've talked to Chris Bevilacqua, who's part of the Smash Capital Group, in terms of where potentially these things go.
Is there any chance the NCAA gets its teeth back and is able to enforce this stuff, or maybe even make rules again? You know
what? I think Charlie Baker's done a hell of a job, and that job's impossible. The membership votes on the rules. Not like Charlie Baker says, hey, Paulie, Steve, John, this is a new rule. No, the membership votes and approves on the rules. The membership voted to establish the CSC, right? Schools voted. Now, a year in, schools are right. How can I circumvent?
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to be governed or do you not want to be governed?
Well, when it benefits you, you want to be governed. If it doesn't benefit
and again, with all due respect, I think that's where we need more national leadership to say, you know what, let's do right here by the athletes. Number one, let's have the athletes at the table. It's important that they have representation. It's important that their voice is heard. But is there a better system that we could build, again, that would lead to more competitive equity, ensure opportunity and chance for Olympic sports to make sure Olympic sports stays vibrant and successful, 75%, I think, of a U.S. Olympic team last summer, college kids. We're a feeder to the Olympic system. Is there a better way? Incredibly complicated? Absolutely. But I would like to see those discussions be had.
I got one more question on a similar topic, and that's the ACC and Syracuse in the long run. Is the ACC, like, how are you confident in it being long term, and is Syracuse capable of surviving if expansion comes around in?
It depends what expansion. What would that expansion be? Right? Mm-hmm. Is it conference getting bigger? Is it consolidation? Is it formation of a super conference, et cetera? So a lot of questions to be answered even within that. In terms of the ACC. The time you see most movement is when media rights deals expire. Big Ten deal goes through 2030. They'll go to market in probably 28. That's going to be the opportunity. So I think, I think there's the likelihood of significant change in the next 24 to 48 months, barring some type of federal legislation. Now, again, the Cruz-Cantwell bill would prevent the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Big 12 from expansion. But barring some type of federal legislation, I think in the next 24 to 48 months, you may see significant movement.
So you mentioned the 5 for 5. That's happening. There are a lot of things that are on the table right now with the Cruz-Cantwell bill. In your mind, what is the next most important thing? Like, if you could pick one thing to fix, quote unquote, about college athletics right now, is it? You mentioned equity from a financial standpoint. Right. I mean, how do you go about doing that? Salary cap type of thing?
Some type of transparency in terms of what kids are getting paid, with their school and above the cap, above the rev share. I think some type of transparency. And I think the other thing is, again, the transfer portal is, you get one free transfer. Again, you graduate 4 years and 5, you get another one if your coach leaves, because there should be player movement, but we're in a period of just constant free agency.
I kind of want to follow up one more on my question too. Like, where do you see Syracuse if the movement comes in the next 12 to whatever months, 24 months? Yeah. Is the ACC able to survive it, and would Syracuse end up in the ACC? Do you think, or elsewhere?
I think the ACC would survive, absolutely. I mean, it's still the ACC is still an incredibly successful and competitive conference. And the media payout, it's a distant third to the SEC and to the Big Ten, but it is third. It is above the Big 12. And I think Syracuse can thrive within the ACC. But, you've got to, listen, football drives everything. We've seen that for the last 5 years. And, we got to get football good, and you got to keep it good. And you need to invest in football.
All right. We've got 10 minutes left in the show. Let's take our final timeout. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up with John Wildhack. I feel like we should have done 2 hours with John instead of just one. I feel like we have so much more to get to. But we'll take our final timeout. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.